Welcome to the Automation Zone. Today we will learn how to select values from a drop-down as well as select multiple options from a multi-select element. We will also learn how to return the values which we have selected in both of our cases. We will now go ahead and navigate to the website. The link I will be giving in the description as well. So let me open up Eclipse and let me do a driver.get and paste the URL. Our next step, guys, is to uniquely identify this drop down right here. So you press F12 on your keyboard and then you use your inspect tool to inspect the drop down. And as you can see, the drop down here has got a tag called as select. If it has any other tag apart from select, the following code is not going to work. Yes, you can work even if it has a different tag, but you have to use different techniques, which is also called as your bootstrap download. For this video, it needs to have a select tag. Now, this drop down here has got an ID called as my select. So I'm going to copy that ID and I'm going to uniquely identify the web element. So driver.findElement by using the locator of ID and pasting the ID which I've copied. Now this here is our web element, and Selenium does not give you any technique to perform selection of a drop down directly by using the web element. So what you have to do here, guys, is you need to create an object of your select class. So to do that, simply type in select, give an object name of your choice. It can be A, it can be B. What people usually prefer is by typing in obj or select, but again any name will be okay, and then do a equal to new select followed by your parentheses and then a semicolon. You hover over your area of select and you'll be getting the option to import your select class from selenium support.ui. You select that, confirm that it is from selenium support.ui and not from any other package, or it can cause a problem. Now with that done, it is still throwing an error because your constructor requires a web element. So you can do two things. You can either take your web element and you can paste it inside of a parenthesis like this, or the other option would be also to create an object of web element like web element, give any name of your choice. So I'm going to give lem, and you save your web element in that particular variable like this, and then you pass in your object to your select class. Let me import the web element as well from Selenium. So again, both of it will work. The choice is basically yours. Now by using the object of select, I can then perform selection by one of three different ways: by using index, by using value, and by using the visible text. We'll look at all of them right now. The first one is by using the index. So if I open up the application again, as you can see, I have got four options. Now the very first option will be having the index 0 followed by 1, 2, 3, etc. And this is true for any drop down. So if I want to choose the option called as pineapple, it will be having the index 0, 1 and 2. So inside my select index option, I will be typing in the index 2 to select pineapple. Let me save this and let me run this particular code. And if you look here, pineapple is selected. We'll look at the other technique now. So the other technique is by the visible value. So let me just do this. Select by your visible text. Now this is pretty simple. Visible text is basically the text which you're looking at right now. So apple, orange, these are your visible text. If you need to be very precise about the text so that you do not make mistakes, what you can also do is inside your select tag, you'll be having options. Each option basically is the options inside of your select dropdown. So you choose the option, and inside of your option you'll be having the text between your brackets. So if I had to choose orange, I have to copy the text orange and then type it inside of the parentheses like this. Let me save this and let me run it. And if you see, that will work as well. Here we go, orange is selected. The very last one we are not going to perform, but just to give a note, the last one is select by value. And if you look at the drop down, you will be also having value. So this is value is equal to apple, value is equal to orange. Just note that your values and your text might not be the same. Your values can also be something called as A1 or something, and your text can be something completely different. So it need not be the same. So the next topic here is, after you have selected a value, how are you going to return the selected values? To return your selected value, you will be using the object of select again, and this time perform select dot get first selected option. Now this basically is going to return for you a web element of your selected option. Now guys, you cannot just go ahead and print a web element. We need the text from the web element, which can be got by using web element dot get text. So in this way we are returning the text of the first selected option. Let me now go ahead and print the particular value which we have returned by using a print line and pasting this code inside of a print line. Let me save this and run the program. And now you'll see it not only selects the particular option called as orange, but it also prints the value of oranges. And this is helpful when you're doing verifications. In case you have a test case where it is told to verify the selected value in a dropdown. So here we go, orange is printed out. Now that we have learned how to select values and return the selected values of a dropdown, we will now learn how to handle your multi dropdowns or your multi-select elements. Now the steps are going to remain the same. We again use the inspect tool and inspect your multi dropdown. Now here again it needs to have the select tag only, and this time it has got the ID called cars. So let me copy the ID and let me make changes from my select to cars. And in this way your select object here is not pointing to your drop down, but it is pointing to your multi select element, which is this one right here. Now with that said, the methods are going to remain the same. So again what we can do is we can do select dot select by index, and let me select the very first option. And now because it's a multi-select, I can go ahead and select more than one elements as well. So I'm selecting the first, the second, and then the third. Let me run this. And upon executing, you will see that the first three options are selected. Here we go, the first three options are selected. Now note that if you're using a multi-select element, you can also use other techniques as well. For example, apart from selecting, you can also do a deselect or a deselect all. So the steps are going to be the exact same thing. You can go ahead and try it out. Now we'll learn how to return values from a multi-select dropdown. Now what we have learned earlier, which was select.get first selected option, will also work, but when it comes to a multi-select option like this one right here, it is only going to return for you the first selected value. For example, here it will only return for you the value called as Volvo, and if you had selected these two, it would return for you only SAP. So this is going to be a problem. If you want to return all the values or all of the selected values, you can do that as well in the following way. So what you have to do here is, instead of doing select.get first selected option, you have to do select.get all selected options. Now this basically is going to return for you not one web element but a list of web elements. So we already have known how to save a web element, right? That is by using this option right here, web element is equal to something. Now let me just type here as list of options. Now because this saves only one web element, you are getting a particular error. In order to save more than one web elements in a list, you have to just go ahead and make a few changes. Just type here a list like this, and you have to put your web element in these brackets, and that is it. Also, you have to just go ahead and import your list from Java. Just make sure that you're doing from java.util and not from any other import libraries. So here we go. Make sure that again over here it is java util.list and not anything else. So with that done, this is going to return for you a list of web elements. You are then saving this list of web elements in this particular variable called as list of options. And now we'll just perform a for loop and print all of this. The syntax for the for loop is pretty straightforward. You only have to type in a for followed by your parentheses like this, and then you give your curly braces like this. Now with that said, inside of a parenthesis you can either give an condition, or you can give the object which you want to iterate on. So let me copy this particular object which we are iterating and paste it inside of our parentheses like this. Now with that said, your list of options here contains web elements, right? So let me create object of the web element also inside of our parentheses. So web element, and let me give any object. So like this. Separate this and the object which is created by a semicolon. Now what is going to happen? If your list of options contains 3 elements, because 3 are selected here, then this particular piece of code is run 3 times, and in each time each web element containing each option is saved inside obj. Now with that said, what I can just do is I can just type obj dot get text. So now this is run basically 3 times because 3 options are selected. If there were 4, it would be run 4 times, and so on and so forth. What I'll do here is let me do a system output and print this or paste this inside of a print command. Let me now run this piece of code, and you will see that 3 options are selected and all the 3 options will be printed in the console window below. Here we go. The 3 options are selected. If I minimize this, you'll be able to view the 3 options being printed right here. Just make a quick note, if you're putting a for loop to iterate something, it is called as your for each loop, and if you're making a for loop with conditions, it's basically called as your standard for loop. Now with that said, going forward we will be learning how to retrieve values or properties from each element. We'll learn this in the next tutorial. If you have any questions in today's tutorial, do comment below, I will help you out. If you like my series on Selenium, do show your support by liking and sharing this video, and do subscribe to my channel. Thank you all for watching.